From the art of the deal to keeping it real. Live from the Simply Vegas studios, it's The Power Move with John Gafford.
Back again. Boys, welcome to The Power Move. My name is John Gafford. I'm your host. To my left, as always, with a little more attitude than you normally get today.
Spicy.
It's the Bulgarian mongoose, Colt Amidan. Colt.
I think you're taking Chris's attitude.
No.
I had no attitude.
And then already objecting to everything we say, Chris the counselor.
That's
Connell,
it. We're coming in hot.
sitting on
December.
See, this is why there's days we do the show when we probably shouldn't start talking before because we get all riled up and just about the general
Frothy.
malaise of what's happening in the world
It's
today.
not even the melees, it's the intentional behaviors.
It's the intention. But before I get started, I do want to say something, which is I got a text over the weekend, which I was a little disheartened about, and I sent it to you guys, and I think you saw it. No.
71 years old.
No,
And I was shocked
it
by
wasn't
that.
Christy Alley. It was this one. It was this text right here. It said, morning, sir. Wanted to share with you that yesterday morning, dropping my son off at school, and when we arrived, he says, Dad, why didn't we listen to the Power Move like we always do every Wednesday? I thought it was pretty cool, just him saying that. And we tried to listen this morning to make up for yesterday, but we still didn't have a new episode.
I wish you could buy stock in people. That kid's going play. I wish I could buy early futures.
Go and play. He is. So, Alberto, to you and your son, this episode today is dedicated 100% to you. Wow. And honestly, if there's gonna look, I'm a person that takes it right on the chin when I unperform. And I'm going to tell you right now, if your son was upset last week with us not doing an episode, let's lay the blame 100% where it should be, and that's on Connel.
That's me.
Yeah, Connel, who had apparently someone's legal needs were more important than helping the kids.
Well, I thought you were in Colombia.
No, I was in Colombia the week before that.
Yeah, Colombia,
Caught
and
a
then,
nice
and then
little
deposition.
But
What'd you catch in Colombia?
A blackfin tuna.
Okay, sorry. Of all the things, there's lots of things you could catch in Colombia. That's good. You went with
in
the fish.
my defense, every time I go to a country, because I like to travel alone.
Yeah, sure.
It's not a problem. People that don't travel alone don't learn a lot about themselves and what they want to do on their own and what they don't. And, because you're not going to go to nightclubs. This is when you go to museums and you enjoy your time there. I went through, old places and did a lot of stuff on my own. I was in bed by 10, 9, Anyway, I didn't realize that part of the world was as notorious or as, I don't know, known for that certain thing. So me as a single dude,
I feel like he's painting himself into a corner right now. And
I think he's making it sound real nice. Come on, you don't know that?
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was.
Man.
It was anyway. So where I was staying, I was 70 meters from this really cool bar where I watched American football like 2 days in a row.
Meters.
Meters.
How far is that?
Meters, 70 meters.
Listen here. Love it or leave it, Connell. How many feet away were you?
210 feet. Or
We don't speak your meter business,
230 feet. 230 feet. Anyways, right by there, I'd walk over there, have some beers, watch football is amazing. Do my thing during the day. But you'd walk out into that square at night and holy shnikes.
It was
it just throngs.
It was go
of
time.
Prostitutes. I was just like, oh my God.
Well,
It's not something I want to be around. Not because people have different experiences, and I feel bad for people that are maybe in that position that don't want to be. Or
well, here's the deal. I think as grown men, we all have a couple of friends, and we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
And based on countries that they like to visit, I can pretty much tell you what's going on in those countries.
And I
got a couple of friends that, let me backtrack that statement. I got a couple of acquaintances that frequent Colombia with regular, at least they seem to on Instagram. They're there all the time, buried in scantily clad women on their Instagram. And let's face it, there's no doubt in my mind that there's some financial, there's some help. There's something is changing hands.
I'd like to go on the record. I am pro legal prostitution as an attorney. I think that healthcare follows it. I think that I don't know why it's a service that's precluded from people transacting. I think that women are subject to problems when there's a black market for something. They're the ones that face the consequences. That's here. I am not sure that in Colombia it's going to be ever terribly egalitarian profession, even if legalized.
Ever there. Well, let's move from prostitution to what we're going to talk about today, which is procrastination.
I have nothing to talk about there.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's procrastination if we're going to talk. If you are someone that always says,
smooth.
it was prostitution, procrastination, it sounds close, but if you are somebody that constantly, tomorrow, you can never get things done. We're going to talk about that today in detail and give you some tips and tricks on how you can stop procrastinating. But, it's funny. I'm sure I'm not just going to skip by it. People want to know what got us riled up on the way in here, which was. And so I'll tell you what got me riled up, what started all this stuff. And if you live in Vegas, it's maybe it's everywhere, maybe it's big cities, whatever it is, but there's an attitude that comes with the people that work at large nightclubs that wear suits bought for them by those nightclubs. Like, that's pretty much my dividing line. If your suit was bought for you by the nightclub, going kind of right in the asshole category. Pretty much, it's a quantum leap into it. And we're throwing our Christmas party at a very large, well-known nightclub here in town. Like we have every year. Like, I've done this, like, this is not my first rodeo with doing a buyout on a nightclub for all of our people.
Different one, though.
Different one. Yeah, every time is different. Every year is different. And normally,
I don't want to impugn the one we were at last year.
And dude, and normally it's great. It's a wonderful experience. It's awesome. Everybody's happy. Life is good. And this year, for some reason, some things happened that we were getting nickeled and dimed on the tail end of things that are assumed that you would have, or we've always had at other places, and all of a sudden they want to charge us for them. So I had to kind of call and voice my displeasure and explain why we weren't going to do that and why they were going to do it anyway. And I found myself talking to someone, and it was very reminiscent of having a conversation that you would see outside of a nightclub at 12:30 at night, where there's a guy with a clipboard and some dude in a striped shirt that just left his room with 3 other guys from Iowa with his Bud Light in his hand, trying to talk his way into the nightclub. And that's how the guy was talking to me. At which point I pointed out to him that I was not that guy. Yeah. He was not going to talk to me like that. And after I talked to his boss, I actually said, who's that guy? And he said, well, he's the one in charge of your party. I said, no, he was the one in charge of my party. I do not want him at my party. So, yeah, I mean, I think it just goes back, and we talk about this a lot, which is from COVID, I think service or the willingness, I preach this to our agents all the time, to our realtors. Since COVID, the level of expectation of good service is so low. It's totally so low that it's really easy, if you are in a service-based industry, as we are, to exceed expectations.
100%.
It's so easy to do because pretty much just be nice. Just be empathetic, put yourself in their situations, and make a genuine, honest attempt to understand the problems of your customers. And it just seems like anywhere you go anymore, they don't. They're doing you a favor by being there. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
What were the stores you were highlighting, Chris, earlier with Vitriol? What were they? You can name them now. What were they?
So I don't want to besmirch the lovely reputations of any Parisian leather makers. But, it's that time of year where maybe. So my wife, thankfully, is one of those people that always needs a new purse or she's not spendy.
Yeah.
So at Christmas time, I usually go and get her a couple of nice things.
Sure.
It's usually more my idea than hers. I don't think she
always
cares that much.
Well, it's easier. Let's be honest. It's easier.
It's easier. She knows.
Let's be honest.
So you go into a store and you're just looking like, I've bought here before. Mm. Now you have to make reservations with some of them. Yeah. And they'll take you with a personal shopper, which I don't like. I don't like to be bothered. I like to go and make my own decisions independent. Yeah. I don't want to have someone staring at me while I look at a price tag and laugh to myself and put it back.
Is that when you go into a store, do you have that that you don't even think about it? It's a gut reaction of you're just waiting for them to get close enough to you so you can just say, I'm just looking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like they can walk up and say,
it's a fence.
Sir, you're our millionth customer. Here's $10,000. No. Well, you know what's funny about that? Not to take you off your subject, but I tell people that all the time when they're making phone calls. When you're making outbound calls, when you start a phone call, a sales call with this phrase, when you start with this phrase, is this Bill? Hey, Bill, how are you doing today?
Fuck off.
People are so programmed for that to be a fucking sales call that they immediately tune you out. If you are starting any sales call with that, stop. And it's the same way in stores. When they walk up, they're just waiting to say, I'm just looking. Yep. How are you doing today? You're just going to get, I'm just looking for anybody you ever called. Don't do that. I mean, sorry, back to you.
100%. No, that is a great piece of advice. But you walk into these stores, these retail outlets, and when you're getting Bobby Big Wheeled at a nightclub in Las Vegas, you go, okay, well, on a Friday night, you do have that power.
Yeah.
Right? You are the gatekeeper. You probably have people kissing your kneecaps, doing all that stuff,
Sure.
right? Because you're the gatekeeper to what men perceive who are not from here, to being, Shangri-La of all this available, opposite sex or same sex or whatever.
They could just go to Colombia.
Oh my God,
For the same price, too.
Same price.
yeah,
Cheaper in Colombia.
but would you look in the mirror after and be proud of your efforts? No.
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 Not at all.
That's the camera changes.
John and I have been in a bar one time in Dubai where we were unaware of. John failed to look at TripAdvisor until after we left.
Yes, discotheque for prostitutes.
And we both just I don't mind traveling with John because I know he's not going to put me in a situation where I'm, surrounded in that situation again. So it's just,
well, I thought we were going to lose a kidney.
It's not something I want to be around. Anyway, so if I'm in a retail store and I'm in front of a clerk and, bless you, whatever you do for a profession, I'm not diminishing it. I'm not besmirching it. Not everybody needs to be a rocket scientist or a doctor or whatever. But if I walk in there and you give me attitude and you're a retail clerk, I just wonder what makes you think, because the people you're around coming to buy from you are wealthy or whatever, and you can tell who's actually got money or whatever. But do you ever, after your shift, go home and look at your own bank account and go, hey, I'm not on that person's team.
Hang on a second. I'm going to defend for 1 second these people. Not that they should be defensible. But at one point, my wife's aunt was the manager at Chanel at the Wynn, right? And the reason that she was the manager is because none of the people that worked there wanted to be the manager.
Right.
Because they wanted to be in sales, because they all made
could make a commission.
5 times the money she make. I mean, you got to remember, look at Joey when he used to work at Barney's and those Saudi princesses walk in and drop gazillions of dollars in the Hermes bag. They make good money. You work in the right place, you make good money.
They can make okay money, but first off, Joey did it smart by doing that himself.
Yeah.
Barney's is making the money. Let's say you make a 5% rip on something.
Yeah.
Like you're there's an opportunity to make a bit more money, but you're not buying your own bags.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not walking in and buying out the store yourself. So don't look at others, especially if you work as your representative. I want you to be completely understanding that maybe not everybody's comfortable buying a $5,000 purse.
But you know what makes it worse? Colt's story actually makes it worse, right? Your story, because you were in a place that notoriously has treated us poorly.
We won't
name the name, but they have repeatedly treated us poorly. And then tell the story. You're in there with who yesterday?
With some pretty big people around the world,
around the banking world.
Yes,
and then when the GM finds out who they are, what happens?
Really nice of him. Then he turns and sees me and was like, "Colt, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen you forever since another place. Anytime you need to come in, treat us good." I'm like, dude, really? Like, really? We've sat again, but it's ran by certain type of people, right? And they just treat you like shit. And
well, it sucked because it makes it worse because now you're with these guys that are super high dollar. All of a sudden now
I'm Bobby Big Wheels again.
Now you're somebody we need to know and take care. That makes it worse. Like if you're gonna treat me like shit, be consistent.
Yeah, treat me like shit always.
Just be Michael Jordan.
Funny. Every time they treat
Michael
us
Jordan.
like shit,
Just be mad at everybody.
Be the soup Nazi, right?
Be the soup Nazi.
Well, we were like, for example, we were talking about the Magic because my daughter marched in the Henderson, which don't get me started. The Henderson Downtown Christmas Parade. City of Henderson needs to let go of let's make downtown something. Just move your parades to Green Valley, going right down Paseo Verde.
Go to Water Street.
Move it down. Get off of Water Street. Let it go. Let it go. It is like you look at what they're doing in downtown Summerlin. It's amazing, right? And then you go down there, and it's like as soon as we parked the car, there was a dude like looking like he was methed out right next to me. I'm like, this is a disaster. Anyway, I digress. But the point being is, as I was down there, I was remembering the wonderment that was Hot Dog Heaven. Did you ever go to Hot Dog Heaven?
No.
Hot Dog Heaven was a stand that was there forever on the corner where that bank is now. They made the stand go because he sold the land, but it was just like a little hut, right? And the dude that worked there, there's 2 things you could count on. Number 1, a delicious hot dog. And number 2, this dude was angry to be alive. I mean, if you tried to pay, God help you, you didn't have exact change. If you had to make change and make a hot dog, you were going to hear about it. But it was consistency, and him being kind of a dick kind of made the magic of the place.
But it's so funny because you say the consistency. that is so true. Like, don't be nice to me certain times and an asshole. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
Pick a lane.
That's an authenticity issue.
Pick a lane.
Yeah,
Pick a
no,
lane.
it really is.
You know who's authentic and happy all the time and sells the best food out of a cart, but
Who's
is
that?
happy? Mr. Okra in New Orleans.
Mr. Okra in New Orleans.
There's a Mr. Okra chain you can buy where you hit the button and it sings the songs he sings.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
John, I don't think you've been to New
I spend
Orleans
so much
anymore.
time there. I don't even know what this is.
I think all these Mardi Gras parades
No.
you've been in those years are fake.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think
Although-
you've ever left Bourbon
no,
Street.
although I very rarely go to Bourbon Street. Thank you very much. But you know what? Talking about being consistent, segue in today's topic, which is procrastination.
Consistent.
Bam!
Finally got there.
Yeah, dude, we finally got there. That was not bad. That was only 15 minutes in. We're going to talk about
Kanye. Last time we
50
talked to him,
Oh,
he
God.
was canceled, and then he's
John
getting more
said soup
canceled.
Nazi, and I got really.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, right. No, I mean, yeah, I don't think you can get any more canceled. Like, well,
Who gave him a platform talk?
dude,
last
the
week?
guy.
We
that-
did.
No,
We
no, no. Alex Jones. Like, if
he made Alex Jones
look like the voice of reason.
fucking Phil Donahue.
Yeah, I know he's the voice of reason. It was crazy, but I love talking about procrastination, especially this time of year.
I get around to doing it.
No, this time, yeah, exactly. Like,
We're just
you know,
gonna
no, you know why?
procrastinate
Why I
this.
love doing it? Because I will say, if I had to put a number on it, in our industry, in the real estate industry, 85% of agents have already quit for the rest of the year. Is that number higher? Are you taking over or under on that, Colt?
No, I would say.
Over under on 85%. Have already
I'd
hung
say-
it up for the rest of the year.
I would say you're right there.
On December, what is it, the 5th today?
I'd
hung it
say
up. Done.
November.
Yeah, they hung it
So
up.
what are they doing? Just hanging
They're
out?
no. I'll tell you what they're doing.
Christmas
They're
parties.
getting ready for getting ready for January 1st. It's the reason why the gym is dead on December 31st and packed on January 1st. Because it all boils down to the same thing. It's not waiting for a date to start your goals. It's all procrastination. It all is. All of it is just you screwing around, and it's the lies you tell
It's an
yourself
excuse,
Yeah, it's an
that are holding you back from being successful.
You're throwing out
I love-
17% of your years out the window.
I love the gym in December.
Dude, it's great. It's
favorite
quiet.
time of year.
Quiet.
Hate
But
the gym.
so the
12
first-
months a year.
the first thing I want to talk about that I think leads to procrastination or leads to your lack of success, and I think there's a huge group of them out there that do this, which is you need to be careful of the labels that you apply to yourself. And right now we have a whole generation of humans that use the phrase millennial as some kind of crutch for terrible, non-motivated behavior. Well, you know, I'm a millennial, so I need to know how much work this is going to take. Well, I'm a millennial, so this and that. I have heard that talking to people so much, it's crazy. And it's like, you don't have to be anything. You're choosing to put yourself, like the fact that you were born a certain year doesn't mean that you can't
Bro,
work
that
hard.
is so Sagittarius of you to say.
It is. Well, my moon's rising, so there's that. No, but people, and again, I love that too. Let's look at horoscopes.
Bro,
years
I'm
and years,
so Libra.
years and years ago, right? I used to at Jumpstart pre-shift at a restaurant that I used to work. It was all women that were servers, and we would have, that was a game we'd play. Horoscope, not your horoscope, because I would prove to them that horoscopes are bullshit. And I would say, like, what's your horoscope? And they'd be like, I'm Aries. And be like, okay. And I would just pick one randomly and read it. Right. I'd be like, okay, here's your horoscope.
Highly
today.
intuitive.
Exactly.
Just most
Today,
vague.
yeah, exactly. Just read whatever. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's so me.
God.
No, not your horoscope.
Pisces. Are you Pisces?
Yeah, it's not you. Because they all apply to you if you read them that way.
That's the point.
So be careful labeling yourself as an excuse for not to get shit done.
Yeah, I actually have a hard time not labeling myself. I try to work on it. I try to stay conscientious of it.
The
Be like,
Canadian thing?
I'm not my. I'm not my job. You know, it is kind of weird. I got to be honest. It is funny because as much as Canada and America are very similar, it's kind of weird. I've been here 15 years, right? So when the national anthem's on, I'm holding my hat by my heart.
You think we'd get some effort out of you by now.
Oh no, you get max effort.
Metric
Hey,
system already
something.
once.
Hey,
Jesus.
I'm not going to mention
dumbfounded.
tax returns
He's
about this
dumbfounded.
country, but America should be happy to have me here.
That's a good point.
You're welcome,
That's
America.
a good thing. Yeah, America, you're welcome. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I haven't taken from it. I've added to it.
You've
so.
added to it.
Well, what do
There
you
we
mean? You're labeling yourself as a lawyer? Attorney?
No. But just to look at everything, like I was talking to a really good friend of mine last night. We had every quarter we have a long conversation. Brilliant guy. He doesn't watch this show.
Wait.
So how smart could he be?
You have friends outside of me and Colt?
I have acquaintances like you, John.
Were you aware of this? Were you aware of this?
Like the people
I was not aware of this.
The Colombian acquaintance.
People that you know that go to Colombia.
Right now are not friends.
I was not aware of this.
No, I was talking to him last night. We were just talking about different businesses because he's made huge pivots in his life because he was somebody that was so hyper successful and precocious about certain things.
That's not that big a word.
And he
No, but it's just
look at Colt. Look at him.
It's just a sexy word. When's the last time you've heard somebody use
precocious?
it?
But he was precocious.
I have not heard somebody use that in years.
He's prematurely advanced for
it's
what
not. It's not an ostentatious word.
No, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying just
Well
who
done,
throws that out? No
it's what he was. I mean, he's just like kind of a bit of a Doogie Howser kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he was smart enough to pivot off it because he saw through some of the things, and it wasn't going the way that it would go if he was a different person. You know, I see a lot of people that have certain businesses that are successful. It's because either they're too dumb to realize they shouldn't be in that business and they just, survive, or they lie to people, or they're, when you talk about certain kinds of industries, there's financial, there's real estate. There are industries where people that are unscrupulous can actually do a lot of damage by being persuasive or being so bullish that they'll kind of take weaker personalities over and run over people. So that doesn't mean you should be doing the job or that you're good at it. It just means that no one stopped you yet.
Well, I think a lot of that too has to do with familiarity. You just get stuck in what you do. I mean, case in point, my tax bill came back for this year and it was egregious. I mean, and God bless my CPA, he's a nice guy, but he's one step away. There's no aggressive plan being laid out from this.
You and me both.
So I put out to my network of very, very high net worth people that I know, and I said, I need an aggressive guy that's going to put me on a better plan.
And not just to,
that's legal. That's legal. That's legal.
Oh, I don't want to do. It's like no. There's things I'm not doing.
I want to take advantage of the tax code every way that I
want
can.
I want to play by the rules, but I want to know the rules to play by.
100%.
I want to Belichick.
100%. And I talked to this guy on Saturday for probably an hour. I had a conversation with this guy. He's a CPA in Memphis, who is now my new CPA. And we just walk through so much stuff that I'm just doing completely wrong. Mm-hmm. He's like, you are literally like the way he looked at my tax returns. He's like, bro, you might as well just go to H&R Block. Like you're not taking advantage of anything. Like,
oh my God,
it's like anything. And he's like, I think he said that he took in like mid-set, like a decent 7-figure number net. And he paid, I think, $35,000 in tax. And it's all because he's an expert at working the tax code within the fair rules of which he can. He takes advantage of everything that he can. Right. And I don't take advantage of anything that I could. And the reality is, talking about familiarity, when everything's running great and you're like, oh, that sucks, but I got to write this check, but here you go. But then you run into what's happened to our business right now, which is a little bit of a slowdown. And all of a sudden you start looking at every line. You start looking at everything. Now you're like, whoa.
Hey, I owe?
Yeah. Well, no, you look at everything and you're like, wait a second. Like, okay, we got to make cuts here. We got to do this. We got to adjust this. We got to make sure, because anybody can run a good business in a bull market.
Right. That's kind of what I'm,
That's what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
When you go scarce is when you got to start taking a hard look at what you do and what you say.
That's when the knives get sharper,
Yeah, without a doubt. If you're somebody that procrastinates, I've never met anybody that has a written plan for the day that procrastinates a lot. For me, I've got to have a to-do list. Do you use to-do list? Is that something you do?
I think that people, this is a hard opinion. Maybe I'm
That's
wrong.
fine. No.
Hey. I think that people that sit there and write to-do lists usually spend more time working on their to-do list than they do doing the things on the to-do list. That's been my personal experience.
I think.
No, I do a to-do list. I knock it out in 90 seconds.
Yeah, my to-do list, I don't sit down for 3 hours and talk about what I have to do. But as tasks pop up, they go in the to-do list.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes,
like
I have scheduling.
Physical.
I have. Yeah, I schedule. It's all on my phone, but I do have my schedule.
Yeah, I have to have that. And like I preach with my coaching students, it's like, look, find the worst thing on your to-do list and do it first.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Like ski downhill, don't walk uphill. You know what I mean? So if you do the worst thing first, then the rest of your day gets easier. If you put off that hardest thing, then you're slowing down to dread it.
I think that's right. That's the worst thing to do. I mean, we've talked about it. If you get a phone call you don't want to answer a damn phone call.
I just do it now.
Instead of just watching that voicemail button look all day long like, oh, I want to deal with it. Now you've ruined your whole day.
Once you get through the hardest things, you notice the sound gets turned down on your day?
Yeah. Well, that's the point.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's physical.
Oh,
I truly,
absolutely.
the last Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
I had a case settle that was 3 years in the mix. 3 years. And all said and done, it's going to be a successful case.
Good.
Just leave it at that. But it's one that's been causing me a lot of consternation, a lot of stress over that period of 3 years for multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The minute that thing's settled,
You're going to Columbia.
No.
Back to Columbia, man.
I was already back. Yeah, the volume in the world just got turned down a little bit.
Yeah.
It was the first time I felt like that. That weight off the shoulders. So.
Well, I think that we can talk about that too, because if you're a procrastinator, it seems like the more things you have to do or the more things that run at you, the easier it is to put more of it off.
Right.
Like me and my wife were talking yesterday. We've had literally guests for 3 weeks straight. We had my sister, then we had my other sister, her family, then we had her best friend was just here. And it's just been nonstop. And then there's that. And then the kids, it's like we have to be in 6 different places at once. And there's just all this stuff. And I just told my wife this morning, I'm so looking forward to next week after our Christmas party when I really kind of don't have to be anywhere for a minute. I mean, because I'm going to this mastermind tomorrow in San Diego, and then I get back and it's nonstop for the rest of this week. But then I'll be happy to kind of have a minute to decompress. Yeah. And I think you need that. And I think the way that you can get that is most people probably say yes to too much shit. Mm-hmm. They do. They're constantly just saying yes.
Yeah. It's not even constantly yes. I'm filling up pages, not realizing what an effect that has on me when it's time to actually perform all of them. Because I like them all. I look forward to them all.
Right.
Yeah.
It does fuel me. I'm an extrovert
like
despite
to go.
my nature.
Yeah.
I like people. I like being out. But then you get to a point where you go, oh my God, we have something this week. Like, please, something happen that takes it off schedule. Because you want to see people.
I got to tell you, selling my Raiders tickets has been one of the best things because it's just one thing off my list I don't have to deal with.
You sold them all off for the year?
So they're gone. All of them. Sold them all.
PSL?
No, not the PSL. I'll keep the PSL because I'm doing good on the tickets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but honestly, it's just, it's one less thing I have to worry about having to go do.
Yeah, I get it.
So, and right now when we have so much going on, I needed to limit my stuff. So if you feel like you're not getting anything done, eliminate the things that aren't necessarily that important.
That's something I like to do, though. I don't sell my Raiders tickets because I like them.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. So the wife and I both enjoy it. We have a kind of a routine. On game day, we do this, gets ready, we go out. We have breakfast
nice
first.
date, right?
It's a nice day for us because we always know that on a game day, we can go hang out. We walk over to a restaurant after, get some wings and a beer.
Yep.
Watch the part of the 5 o'clock game, and then when it's all settled down, we Uber home. We only live a mile and a half from the stadium, so it's.
But for me, I felt like we were having to go. I got to get the kids ready. We got to go. We got to do this.
That's
blah,
not
blah,
fun.
It became kind of a push up, but that may change because it seems like every other single day I got something to do. I mean, Colt walked in today and said, "What'd you do this weekend?" I'm like, "Dude, I was at a lacrosse field at 7 a.m. every day. Just because I had to be there, and just." Going and going and going and going, which was crazy.
And when you have kids that start, so my daughter's now a 2-sport athlete. She's playing basketball and volleyball.
And
we talked about that last time.
Who takes her to practice?
So she's at school. They bus to the game. So I got to go to her game after this.
Okay.
And then they won't let us take our own children back from the game. Right. I have to then drive back to her school
and pick her up.
To pick her up.
Who takes her to practice? Just right after school?
It's right after school. So I pick her up after practice.
Yeah.
So I dropped her off today at 7:30. I was in my jiu-jitsu gym by 7:50. So I did jiu-jitsu at 7:50 in the morning. That gives me enough time. So we leave. We have that kind of a perfect schedule. So it works out. So then I can do my stuff that I need to do because, as you know, every morning I either have the weights or I have jiu-jitsu or something. And I do that because I need to kind of get my day started like that.
When you get to work, you start right off. Like with your task, because I don't schedule anything for like the first hour and a half of my day.
I was just going to mention that, and it's something that it's a change that I'm going to make for the new year, which is I have a lot of Zooms that normally take place almost every day. I've got a Zoom sometime starting between 8 or 9. Every day I've got something, and I'm going to move all of that to afternoon because I like to get up in the morning. I like to get that done, but when nobody's at my house, like, because the kids are going to school and it's just me, dude, I get so much done.
Absolutely.
I've started not coming into the office here till afternoon, till like around noon every day, because I just get so much more done at home.
That's how I do. But as an attorney, you got to remember, I have court anywhere from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So nobody expects me to be available at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's kind of one of those benefits about morning court. Court's always in the morning. If you have an afternoon, it's usually either trial or there's something weird. Or it's bankruptcy or it's some other business matter.
Yeah.
Rarely, or it's a settlement conference or whatever. Rarely will I have something in the afternoon that's court related.
Yeah.
I start my day really early, but I do not take appointments till after 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10, 11 is good. Like tomorrow I have a meeting.
I'm moving everything after afternoon.
I think that's really
I want
great.
that first 4 hours to me. That's what I want.
If you get your stuff done, I find that I'm actually most productive if I start cooking on something 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. That's when I am in flow state.
See, the problem with me is when I get home, I'm here all day, and then I get home, and then the kids get home, and then it's super dad time till 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then start over again.
No, I do the work before then.
Yeah.
I'm saying that me personally, when I was on law review, when I was my entire time, now is the time of day where I would start cooking the most. Start 2, 3, 4. Now I'm getting that. So if I get everything going, so if I'm at work till 8 at night, my wife knows it's because I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And there's something, I can't start cooking at 9 in the morning and start
I'm the
drafting
opposite.
briefs. And it's like, no, I want to kind of get my day. I want to sort out what I need to do. So that's not procrastinating. To me, I just have an optimal.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about that, because that's good. That's not about procrastinating, because she'll do it within the course of a day.
Yeah.
You just understand when you work at your best.
Yeah.
And I think running your schedule around those times will prohibit you from procrastinating things. So if you're a person that works better at night, then work at night. If you're a person first thing in the morning, dude, everybody's different. Find what works for you is the point.
Yeah, work out. So if I work out at night, it screws up my sleep.
Right.
So I work out in the morning.
At night.
I work out in the morning. 7 in the morning or 8 if it's jiu-jitsu. I'm working out. 9, I do the stuff. I start answering emails. I start doing customer service early because that doesn't take me having to sit down and do a singular task. That's when I can do the breadth.
See, I don't even open my email until probably minimum 10 o'clock.
I don't
just because as soon as I open my email, I'm now responding to other people. Now other people are controlling what I'm doing right now. I want to knock out everything I need to knock out, and then I'll start worrying about other people's problems.
I do the total opposite. I'm always available by email.
Yeah.
After this show is done, I'll have 10 emails, and I will respond to each one in kind. And I will have that done throughout the day.
Yeah.
Till 10 at night.
Well, but see, here's the thing. I don't get a lot of emails that need right now type responses.
Right. Okay.
Because I have people, anywhere where a fire could burn, I have a fireman somewhere between me and that fire.
Yeah, but I don't task my staff. My main case manager, she's available. She makes herself available kind of whenever. So I don't even ask her, but it'll be 7 p.m.
Yeah,
and I'll notice
but
an email.
But you have a fireman too, though. She's helping put stuff out.
Yeah, but
And if something's absolutely on fire, it's a phone call. And it's a phone call after phone call, right? So it's like
thankfully
email stuff.
Thankfully, I'm in a business where your average case is going to take 2 years, so very rarely is anything on fire. If it's on fire, it's like, what do they say? You're either coaching it or allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
And that's like in our industry, right? Like if you will have fires. If it needs to be taken care of in a 2 or 3 hour period, then you've screwed up and you procrastinated on something.
Yeah, this is a long. It's a long sales process. Yeah. There's no reason.
So
I
talk
got
to me
one
about
that'll
that.
be 9 months, right? Like from start to beginning. Like mine are way longer, but that's why car people have a tough time in the real estate game, because they want to come. They're so used to bam, 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 1 day, 6 hours, where yours to me is short, but yours is still 28 days, 30 days.
95% of your fires happen the day of close, though.
No, not necessarily, because if you've done your job right with competent people, there shouldn't be a lot of surprises day of close. There shouldn't. I mean, the prelim comes in. There's no crazy lien. I mean, it can happen that a crazy lien can come in the day of closing. That could happen at title. But if your loan is solid and your buyer's solid, the lender's done a good job. They know everything is fine.
Yeah, but I mean, like getting keys, getting this.
No, but again, that's all part of the process going forward. And like what we do and what we're really good with is we understand that when we're getting a deal, even if the agent on the other side of the transaction is not the greatest, we have already had a discussion about getting those keys, getting that before closing. Like, how are we doing this? Where can we pick them up? Are you leaving the lockbox? Can we get them from your office? How are we doing this?
Yep.
You know, and and there you go. A lot of people in this business don't do that. It closes and they're like, sweet, it closed. Hey, how are we getting the keys? Well, I'm in Cancun, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I noticed that happen so much.
Yeah.
Because on my deals too, I mean, my personal deals.
Yeah.
I mean, deals I'll do because I'll do commercial. What my wife does is residential.
In this business, unfortunately, you have got to assume the worst about everybody you're working with. You've got to like cover every single base you can. You got to, you got to just
so true.
You got to lay everything out. You can't assume anything.
You cannot procrastinate about that.
You cannot. You just can't.
Now it's when a fire comes, right? Like, how are we getting keys? But you have. I always tell people, just assume you're dealing with a dumbass, which is bad to say, but
no,
most of the time you are like, oh well, I don't know, I'm in Cancun. I couldn't tell you how many times that is. You know, like
assume everyone's a moron and have them prove you wrong.
Right?
It's always well if you're doing right by your client, that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
you have to. You know, I'm a big fan too. I tell people all the time, if you want to break out of a cycle, if you're in a cycle of not getting stuff done, dress for the day and prepare for the day you want, not the day you have. I've seen this so many times when, you know, people will come in to a real estate office to prospect. I'm going to make calls. And they're wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. And you're like, well, what happens if they say, can you come right now? Well, I'll run home and I'll change. Well, why would you not just be prepared for that right now?
I know.
Like, because for me anyway, on days when I have to like really, and I know that I'm going to be out there and I need to be my best, I am like, I love wearing suits. Like, I love that. And I know Colt wears suits almost every day. And it's like the change. You change from, like, if I walked around here in sweats all day, I would never get anything done, because when I go home and I put sweats on, that's my home outfit.
Yeah.
Right. I need to get in your
uniform.
I need to get my uniform. You know, Superman has an outfit for a reason. He doesn't go.
Well, no, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Superman puts on an outfit.
No, but he puts on an outfit so he could stop being Clark Kent, who's a puss.
No. This is where you're wrong.
Oh, Jesus.
Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino.
Dude,
Clark Kent
overrated.
Is Superman's reflection on humanity.
What?
Superman is who he is.
Okay.
Right?
So he's
his
wearing
cape is his blanket.
He's wearing the Clark Kent costume is what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay.
Clark Kent, like you said, weak, frail. That's a whole bill. He's got a whole soliloquy.
There's a whole thing.
It's brilliant. It's true. He says because Peter Parker has to turn into Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
These guys all have to turn into who they are. Superman is Superman. He has to hide who he is by being Clark Kent, which is, you know, the dorky glasses and the that's his reflection on humanity.
Look, you've lost Colt. Colt's really confused now.
Don't tell me you don't like Superman.
He's confused now.
No, do you know how many people say, "Oh, you look like Clark Kent when I have long hair"? And now you're saying he's a nerd and he's a dork with glasses. I mean,
well, he puts glasses on.
Oh, no, now you're good. No, you look good.
You look good in the glasses.
That whole thing.
Superman.
The S is from, that's the symbol of what he was found with in the field. So Superman is Superman. He pretends to be Clark Kent.
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff, so I'm
just
not
saying.
even.
I got you, Quentin Tarantino. I got you,
Kill
buddy.
Bill. That's a horrible movie.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, you're no, dude.
What do you mean? I literally have a Hattori Hanzo sword in my office.
Oh my God, dude! Speaking of which, I don't know if we talked about this.
Didn't like Kill Bill?
I don't know if we've
turned it off.
I don't know if we've talked about
this,
but your wife said something to my wife yesterday, which was hilarious, because my wife watches that 90 Day Fiance show, right?
Yeah.
She watches, or 90 Day, whatever it is, Fiance. She watches that, and at one point, it's some random thing. This guy said he made a comment if he sells rare guns like the Castor Troy guns from, and I was like, wait a second. So Gidget finally asked your wife, did you get the gun from this guy? And this dude, I'm going to see if I can get this on camera. So this dude, she says, yeah, here's a picture. That the guy says it's like a signed picture of himself.
Signed picture of himself.
And
I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit about you. I wanted the gun.
I know. It's like,
that's your picture?
He sent him like a whole like signed thing. Thank you for buying the Castor droids for new private. And he like signed it. Like he's
he's the gun maker, but I don't.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I'll throw that in garbage.
I thought that was so funny.
I was going to say something, but I'm not.
And real quick, Alberto just texted me back. So Jacob, we hope you're listening to this. My first bit of advice for you, Jacob, directly would be grow a mustache like your father's, because that thing is just magical.
Don't watch
impressive.
Star Wars.
Is the mustache realtor?
Yeah, the mustache realtor. This is his son. Yeah.
Wow.
So hey, real quick, if you had to give Colt,
I don't think I could grow
let's. I'm gonna bring this down.
Shout out to him, by the way, with that gift basket he sent you.
Yeah, it was strong. It was super strong.
So he was full of Rocky Patel cigar stuff. And
That
all
was
stuff.
good.
He impressed Colt with that. That's
That was
hard to
good.
do.
Yeah, it was. So Colt,
Colt wasn't even
Thanks
impressed by
for
Kill
it,
Bill.
because-
let's pretend you got to give
Dude,
Jacob some
Kill
advice.
Bill.
Give Jacob some advice. What advice? Would you
Advice? Oh, man. Well, first
Young
off,
Jacob, who's listening to us in the car
Jacob.
right now.
school's important.
Yep.
Movie selection is important.
Listen
Don't
to
watch
Chris
Star
Connell.
Wars. Don't watch Kill Bill. Don't watch Superman. Be a man. Watch Man on Fire. Watch Casino.
I agree
Watch
with all of them.
Godfather.
What about Columbia? Should he go to Columbia?
You should go to Columbia.
Here's one for the youth.
Go there from
Don't,
18
stay in
to
school.
22.
Stay in
Learn
school.
Spanish.
Stay in school. And any of your friends that tell you bros before hoes is not being a real bro. Okay?
You think it's hoes before bros?
I think it's always hoes before bros, for being honest.
Jeez.
And a good bro is not going to put you in that position.
That is a good bro.
That's a bad
You're a
bro.
good
It's
That's a
like,
bad bro that puts you in
You
the
know
bros.
what I'm
Chris is
house.
a good bro. I will give Chris that. You're a good bro, Chris.
I got you, man. I
Good
got you.
bro.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Name Chad.
Yeah, he
Sister
gotcha.
Chad.
He gotcha. Well, I think, hopefully some of those tips helped you today with procrastination. Hopefully some of that did.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, get it out of the way. But I'll tell you, but you know what? I do want to talk about two more things though, when it comes to procrastination that affect me. Number one, the language you use with yourself is very important. Replace the word have with get.
Yeah.
Like, I get to do this. Instead, I have to do this, because a lot of the stuff, especially if you're in sales or you're in a prospecting type business, those tasks that you have to do, there's somebody out there standing on an assembly line in China that's
Colt.
putting the same component in an iPhone all day long for 18 hours a day that would give anything to have that work, to be able to get to do what you do every day. So next time you have to do something, tell yourself, I get to go do something.
There's a dude without legs right now.
No, I'm not trying to go that far.
I am. I'm serious.
Can we just
How
talk
much-
about the iPhone? I mean, we're just supporting
Sure,
slavery
Cole.
by having iPhones.
Cole, I got
Really?
some bad news for you. Vegans are supporting the death of multiple ground-dwelling squirrels and
turn
birds.
this off of the iPhone. We're talking about the iPhone.
Every single thing, creates death and destruction at some level, Cole. Your existence just
feel
does.
like you're just blowing over slavery.
Yeah, he's
Like, it's not a big
Because
deal.
you think the Android, you think what? You think that,
yeah,
you think
Android
that
is made
those
by the
precious
same
minerals,
Mississippi?
you think that those precious minerals are what? the equality diamond is that?
Android made with only.
Yeah, there's no blood on your hands when 90% of the
Nope.
world uses Android.
Nope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. More of that.
Those lithium-ion batteries aren't just in iPhones.
We're buying stuff made out of Canada for now.
People care. People that have iPhones at least care enough to do research. You Android people knowingly turn.
No,
your
he's
back
an
on it.
iPhone user now.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly, is that what he's
Worst.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
He's
It's
like
if I
he's-
drink Starbucks,
he's like, what's
I'm
the-
with a client. I'm not a Starbucks.
You know what he is? He's like
phony is
he's
what
like
he
that the actor. He's like that actress that's trying to blow up Scientology. That's who he is.
She's Janine Garofalo
Yeah,
or-
she's on the inside. Whatever her name was.
Rima.
Yeah, exactly.
Leah Remini.
That's who you are, Leah Remini. You're Leah Remini you're the Leah Remini of Apple. You use it, but you're still trying to blow it up from the inside.
Trying to,
Thanks a lot, Colt.
Colt, I lost a lot of respect for you when you went over to the iPhone.
Oh wow.
You used to have conviction and morals, and you just threw them in because we bullshitted you about a
I
blue
had
bubble.
nothing to do with you guys.
I'm just kidding.
No, I know. But it's funny. 'cause
I'm
people
actually
are-
very proud of you. I was very, very
People
proud
are
of it.
like, "Oh, you gave into it." No, there was one or two specific reasons.
I
and
get it.
That's
We want
it.
it.
You can just say that.
As soon
That
as
was
I
it.
get retirement, my retirement party is just going to be breaking.
You know what?
Breaking.
No. Okay, answer.
That's gonna be
Okay, look, we didn't talk about this. I'll tell you something else that it made me angry on Saturday night.
Herschel Walker?
No, not Herschel Walker. So
Cowboys?
Saturday night. No. Saturday night we were chasing the party a little bit. So we went to my wife, because my wife's friend Janae was in town from New Orleans and she wanted to watch the Saints. So they went to the Saints bar, she wanted to watch LSU in their game on Saturday. So they went to some PTs over off Durango. So I went and met them there.
Go Tigers.
And then from there, it was like, Scott came and met us, and he's like, oh, well, let's go to this chandelier, some bar, whatever it was. And we walked in there, and it was like where fun goes to die. And I'm like, well, this sucks. So where are we now? We're close to Scott's house. Let's just go to South Point. So we go to South Point, and there's 8,000 Cowboys there, which I love the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong. Cowboys are great.
And
I almost wore my cowboy hat tonight.
No, but it was just a matter of there was nowhere to sit. There was nowhere to hang out. It was so busy. It was crazy.
Henderson Executive Airport.
What's that?
You want to talk about money?
Oh, watching the money flying
Talk
there?
about Cowboys.
Oh, flying the Cowboys and flying the Jets?
I got into a
hang on, let me finish my story.
Sorry.
auction.
Sorry.
Let me finish my story.
That, but I just,
Look, because I want to know your opinion. I do want to know your opinion
Cowboys.
on this. So I go, and we end up going to Giuseppe's, which is a little nice restaurant up here at the corner of Horizon and Eastern. And we go in and we eat there sometimes. Let's just get something to eat here on the way home. And there's a private event space at Giuseppe's. And someone is having their 60th birthday party. I know that because there's the big 60 balloons. And all of these people are dressed, all of the party goers are dressed like super old, like people with like walkers and like rollers in their hair and like support hose. And all the guys have like trying to look like super old people. If that was my birthday party at 60, now keep in mind, I'm 50. This ain't that far away from me. If that was my birthday party, I'd have been pissed. I'm like, look, if you guys want to act like you're no, I'm doing like raging 80s when I'm like 60. I'm like, I got life to live. I don't want somebody acting like I'm hanging this shit up.
Breaking your chops about how old you are?
Yeah, I don't know, but like, dude, I'm not trying to hang it up. I mean, dude, with my high level of income in science, I don't see reasons I can't live to be 135, 145 years old.
Got some bad news for you, John. Got some bad news where I do know the science doesn't have us in its highest graces.
No, but the point is, I'm like, dude, you're 60. You're not 90.
Yeah, 60
don't you think that's just people breaking chops? And by the way, maybe the 6 was hung upside down.
Maybe the air conditioning was
no, it was not 90.
No, but here's my thing. I kind of agree with you. I'd rather do things in a classy way, or I'd rather do the finer things.
Yeah.
Like your birthday, all these things.
Or fun. Or like your birthday should be a celebration of the life that you've lived, and the life you're still going to live.
But I grew up in a family where, it was 40th birthday. Every card was, you're over the hill now. And it's all this bullshit. That is kind of insidious, though, isn't it? Where people kind of start believing that they're old when they do stuff.
Yes.
I've stopped saying that to myself.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I'm 42. I say it as a deflection thing.
Yeah.
I said it in jiu-jitsu this morning.
Yeah.
We were talking about doing berimbolo rolls. It's this really kind of inverted.
You know, I think I said I'm going to put kung fu fighting on the board, and every time you slide jiu-jitsu into a conversation,
it just happened because I was there today. Give me on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're doing this berimbolo roll, and it's this thing where you go inverted and you flip and blah blah blah. And they're like, you big guys can do it too. I taught a 9-year-old to do it. I taught this other guy to do it. And I go, that guy's 27. The kid you're talking about is 9. His spine is fucking spongy.
Yeah.
Like 42-year-old spine, you see Tom Brady on the field. He's obviously not trying to get hit like he was when he was 25.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
He ain't putting his head down and going.
He ain't putting his head down and burying it in.
No.
So there are things that you have to be cognizant of, but it in no way is a death sentence.
But see, I would say in my head, like right now, people ask me like how
25?
No, not 25.
That's how I feel.
I'm perpetually like 32. That's the number I have in my head. That's like where I'm at. Yeah. 32.
Shocker.
And I think definitely being in the gym every day and working out has helped that tremendously since my 50th birthday. I feel better than I did when I was 40.
Sure.
I know I do. But yeah, I kept watching that and I was like, bro, don't stick me in the ground. Don't tell me that it's over, because it's not.
They were just friends breaking balls or what?
Oh, they're just old.
No, I don't think anybody there was maliciously trying to hurt the feelings. But the overall theme of the party, let's all dress like we're 100. I thought I'd have been like, what? No.
You gone back and look at some of your parents' old photo albums?
No. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ever go look back at your parents' old photo albums?
Well, they were smoking over the birthday cake.
Over the birthday cake, and it was Dad's 40th birthday, or whatever, and everybody there is 75 years old, and you look and it goes, Todd was 36.
Yeah, that's true. They did look old then.
Like
Golden girls,
60
man.
now.
Those girls were like 60.
They weren't. No, they were like in their 50s.
No, they were in their 50s. This is the thing that screws me up all the time. I remember being a little kid, right? and that show 30 something would come on at like 10 o'clock, and I'd be like, oh, not
Oh
this
my God.
old person shit.
Fucking jeez.
Jesus. And that was 30 something.
Yeah. The guy just got his first mortgage.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Look at these 30 something.
It was crazy.
So
Birthdays
age
are
is different
overrated.
though.
Age is
I don't like
different. All right.
birthdays.
Okay. All right.
Now to that point though, it is nice when people can kind of acknowledge their age and don't shoot their faces up and look like, blown out lizards too.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's also something to be said about
I'm going
age a
to
bit
age
gracefully.
Graceful. Look how beautiful I
I
look
get
at.
the silver
39.
hairs. I get,
Yeah, dude. What's funny is people accuse me of dyeing my hair for years, which I never have, and now all of a sudden it's like going. I mean, like even in this room, it just if you're watching this on the YouTube, it just glistens in sunlight with the grayness.
It's just strawberry blonde.
Yeah, I don't care about the gray. I tell you, I don't care about the gray. I care about the unruliness because the gray hairs just have a mind of their own. They're like, I'm just going this way, and that's what I'm doing. People think I stick my hair up because I want to, still looks like this. It's just actually doing this pretty much on its own.
I want to get to the age where I just start doing everything efficiently, like John Donaher. Start wearing like your workout clothes under your suit. Shave your head, save time.
Yeah, just to be done.
Just to be totally efficient.
Just to be done. Well, be efficient. Hopefully, I don't know how much we helped you with procrastination today.
And procrastinating.
Hey, we showed up and we did it.
This is what
We showed up and we did it.
This is what happens when we don't do a show for 3 weeks and we just want to bitch about random things. So, Colt, unless you have anything else you'd like to talk to the folks about
like I
today.
said, I think birthdays are overrated.
With it being, here's what I am curious about. That we haven't done a Colt top 5 in a while. Colt,
Top five holidays.
No, not for top 5 holidays. Top
National.
5 because we're in the middle of the holidays right now. It's Christmas. Top 5
Christmas
holiday
make my
things,
5.
Christmas things to eat. What do you got?
Number 1,
Yes. Christmassy things to eat.
Because we eat pasta for Christmas.
Eat pasta, okay. But I'm talking about like things that are only out for Christmas. Pasta's out all year round.
So, Chick-fil-A has an amazing.
Peppermint milkshake.
Yes.
I heard a ad on the way here for it.
It's
haven't had that. I
amazing.
thought about
It's got
that,
like
though.
some chunks in it. It's amazing. So Chick-fil-A is number 1.
That's one. You're going straight to number 1 with a bullet with
Straight
that?
number 1
All right.
because I don't know where I'm going with number 2 or 3.
Eggnog.
I love
You know what?
eggnog. I love eggnog.
Eggnog is good
I have
for, like,
eggnog
a
in my
shot.
fridge right
I
now.
haven't had any yet.
I have it in
this
my
year.
fridge right now.
I might stop on the
We
way.
actually got a light. We got a light one, and it's
light
good.
eggnog.
And it's good.
It's delicious. They've made
delicious.
improvements.
Like, but you can only have like maybe an ounce and a half.
Of
Oh,
what?
I can drink a glass
Eggnog.
of eggnog.
I could drink.
Oh,
I could drink a quart,
I could.
but I don't.
No.
I don't.
No.
I have a glass.
When
small glass.
they were talking about my grandmother. So my grandfather used to make eggnog from scratch, and he put liquor in it. He
That's
put
how
bourbon,
people-
He
yeah.
put bourbon in it.
Yeah.
But my grandmother never touched a drink in her life, and he never told her there was booze in it. So my grandmother was always in a great mood from like
on the holidays.
right from Thanksgiving all the way through the New Year. She was always in a good mood every
always
day.
liked
'cause
that eggnog.
Sipping the eggnog every day. Papa's eggnog.
That's a tough top 5 because what's a Christmas?
Oh, dude, you got
Eggnog.
reindeer bark.
Die Hard.
You got
Never heard that.
You got reindeer bark.
What?
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's delicious. I love
basically
that.
that milkshake you're talking about.
Yeah, it's essentially the milkshake.
Never
but
even
that.
heard of that.
love-
Honestly, I couldn't.
turtles.
What are turtles?
Turtles are a
Turtles
Christmas
only come
thing.
out-
Yeah, they only come around Christmas
What
too.
are turtles?
It's like
What do you guys
it's like
got?
a,
You
no,
guys-
it's like a little chocolate caramel thing with pecans in it that looks like a turtle.
Hey, what's that thing that's like a caramel scoop with the chocolate thing in the middle? Only comes out.
The
Rolo?
no,
no.
the Rocher, that thing.
Ferrero Rochers are actually
Ferrero
should be on your
Rochers.
list.
I don't even know
That's
what
really-
that is.
How do you not know what that? It's like a hazelnut ball of deliciousness.
What?
You guys are blowing my mind. I didn't know all this existed. We
Okay, you bust out pumpkin cookie at one point, and we're blowing your mind with the Ferrero Rocher.
we
don't know what that
missed
fucking
the
is.
pumpkin cookie season to bring in and have you guys taste test that. I mean,
All right.
God. I mean, honestly, what else you guys consider Christmas food? You guys, I'm
Oh,
going
God.
to go home and
Eggnog.
like look at all this.
The reindeer
stuff.
bark.
Yeah. The candies and things that get made.
What candy?
Yeah.
Candy canes are horrible.
No.
Candy canes are the worst.
Candy canes are not. They're not real.
No.
Nobody's really looking forward to a candy cane.
No, they're not. They're not.
Strawberry
They're
ones
just-
are
they're
good, though.
decoration,
You ever had
actually,
the strawberry
flavored
ones?
Like I would even throw
those are
like
good.
when else do you get like a honey baked ham? Like a solid honey.
You know,
baked ham.
ham's one of my favorite. I
Delicious.
think underrated.
But
honey
you think
baked
that's
ham.
a Christmas thing?
I think it. Yeah, you get it because
It's Thanksgiving, Christmas,
Yeah.
it's any major
Thanksgiving,
holiday.
bleeds into the
Christmas,
holidays.
4th of July.
I love the honey baked ham.
Yeah,
Delicious.
I just think
summer
there's some-
solstice.
No,
They do
you-
the ham.
Yeah,
then.
I'm gonna have to find out what that is because I can't remember exactly what it is. But it's like a circle of chocolate on like a caramel half circle thing. and they're in like these foil things you
my
pull
family
out.
didn't have that kind of Christmas.
And
apparently.
you know, they're half circles.
People can DM me
Gingerbread, delicious.
Oh,
Gingerbread?
gosh, yes.
I like
the
gingerbread.
Flavors
smell.
okay.
I like
The
gingerbread.
smell.
Do you
that
eat
is
like
good.
a gingerbread cookie?
I'll eat a gingerbread man. Yeah, I'll totally eat a
absolutely.
gingerbread man.
Don't you have to start off
Head
with
first.
the head?
Yeah, head first. Yeah,
You can't
It's like
eat the
crawfish. You
leg
snap
or
the head
anything.
off.
Do you read any of the passages from 48 Laws of Power before you bite the head off?
Read that every night. Of course I do.
Lie to your enemies about your true intentions.
Colt,
I think we need to do that every year.
Colt, I made
that.
48 gingerbread cookies. They're all headless.
Well,
Like,
I
was
don't
going
know
chapter by
about you
chapter.
guys, but I'm at the point now where I want to go blow my workout today, drinking eggnog and eating gingerbread men. So we're going to wrap it up. But guys, thanks for joining us. If you're watching us over on the YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Whatever you're listening to us on a podcast app, whatever it is, give us the maximum level of stars. And if you have any ideas for new nicknames for Colt, are we going to try
Polo
new
assassin.
We're going to try some new nicknames for Colt for the new
Bulgarian
year. So if you have anything, DM them to us. Hit me up in the DMs.
Yeah, let's
Follow
go.
us-
I think we need to do 48 powers again.
Yeah, follow me on the Instagram, which is the John Gafford. Send me the DM for new names for Colt. Colt, how can they follow you?
Instagram, Colt_Amidan.
And how can they find you, counselor?
Connel Law LV, 3 L's in Connel Law.
Three
702
L's.
Connel. 702 Connel.
3 L's. This guy has more L's than any other attorney out there. So should you have more W's? Is that never mind. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
That
So
was- wow.
remember, if you're gonna move, guys,
Lot of L's.
keep moving forward. Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout.